Hello, everyone, and welcome to the second Sundrop Cup Series test of the off-season here at the Chicagoland Speedway. Though, unlike the CRTS booth, I am not alone for this one. I am joined by Logan, this time for the first time, for a SDCS test.
Hey, thanks, Brandon, for having me aboard. We're looking forward to some exciting testing here at this 1.5 mile oval here in Joliet, Illinois. This was won by the races here last year were won by Jay Jefferson, won the first of the doubleheader weekend, and it was Logan Cloud who won the cutoff race, race number 2.
Of course, this header last season, the cutoff for the chase, where we had some great battles going on to the end of the chase, especially with the 83 driver, Alex Benyako. Though for the first driver out on the track, it is Ryan Butcher in this number 83 for the SDCS car. And Butcher for Shade Burkhardt Racing trying to run better than the drivers did at the CRTS test earlier today, as those guys who were at the CRTS test flew up here from Memphis pretty quickly to get up to Chicagoland very quickly. We have, I believe, 28 cars in the field for this one. And before we actually get into this, I am getting comments that my OBS is struggling to do this, so I'm going to hope that the choppiness will go away through this event. I am, of course, on Discord with Cloud, but we're just going to have to hope that this will work. If not, it's in red right now. That is not good. But you see, Butcher and the 27 of Cody Goforth, they're side by side. Further on up, DJ Curtis, Logan Cloud still on pit road. A lot of drivers coming around, and look at that HBP number 06.
Yeah, that's Zach Rogers in the 06. He had an interesting campaign in the Dr. Pepper Dash series last year. Did he win it all? I can't remember. It was an up and down season. Hoping at some more stability for him at Texas Star Racing next year. I believe he's in the 9, I want to say, renumbered. Basically, it was what was the 48 for most of last year that Alex Fletcher was in. So we'll see what he can do with another year at TSR, and here he is driving in the big boy race here, or testing I should say, with Harmon Betting Peterson.
That for the stream guys, yes, Cloud is here, but we are going to go ahead and restart this stream real quick, lower the bit rate. Hopefully that'll fix it. If not, we're pretty much screwed, and you guys are going to have to deal with the stream chopping around. So give us just one. I believe we are live again. If I can get the chat to confirm that for me very quickly.
Looks like it's live my end.
All right, we have confirmation it is live. So 3 minutes have passed, and I halved the bit rate, so now the stream is going to look absolutely horrible for you guys. So I'm sorry, but it will run on the correct stream, and it's nice to see that Brady Burkhardt has shown up to the stream for the first time in a year or two. Nice to see my old friend back, and hopefully we'll be able to see him some more during this, especially in the test, wherever his number 99 is. If we can go get that real quick. It's pretty purple. There he is. There's Brady. But as you were talking about, Cloud, we got Zach Rogers in here, but we got a lot of part-time drivers in this field as well, including Cody Goforth, who's going to be only part-time in this 27 this season. You got the 05 of Austin Johnson as well up here. So a lot of guys, and Alex Benyako in the 30. Out of all these part-time guys that are coming up from the trucks, who do you think will be able to run the best here at this test, best here during the season?
Ooh, that's a tough question. Of the part-timers that are the guys moving up from trucks? Ooh. Of the part-timers, I'd say maybe like a Larry Hagan or somebody, but I mean, of the full-time drivers, I'd almost say like a Sebastian Kukulon maybe, or a Brandon Morris. I know they haven't exactly been top dogs, but it's possible with the sort of reset, so to speak, of the gap between the best teams and the slower teams. It's possible that some of these guys can use that to their advantage and take it full advantage and have a great season.
That is true with all these cars. They're brand new cars, not much research and development done so far, so those upgrades during these tests will come in handy as you see Eli Bright pulls it down pit road. Looking, though, at some of these other guys, you got Nicky Morris and Mac Johnson in for the JRL and Reed Racing drivers, respectively. Nicky, his own team owner, after that short stint at Rockstar Energy Racing. Kukulon announcing that his team will be running full-time with Kukulon in the number 12 while he drives for the Sauber Racing team in the Truck Series. You got guys in this field that have not ran full schedules over the last season, including guys like Matthew Eves. He ran a lot in the MDCS, but I don't believe he made every race in that 38 car. You also got Zach Rogers up in here, but some of those full-time guys, too, going to be interesting to see as you see the 95 of Vince Freeze, an underdog here, puts himself on top of the charts with Carter Friesen, Kukulon, Curtis, and Foster top 5. That's 3 of the 4 Monster Energy guys inside the top 5.
Yeah, it's really interesting. Monster Motorsports was a very dominant team for a while, and they kind of took a step back with the kind of separation between Yepes and Edson. But they built a nice driver core last year. What was Diego Yepes incorporated with Friesen and Curtis, and now they're coming out. They're trying to get back to the dominant team that they were before. And so far this testing session, it looks like that is indeed the case.
That's good for Monster Motorsports, showing that. You see the slowest was Zach Rogers in the 06. Now it goes to Nicky Morris. 28.6 to a 28.1. As we said, the field not too different in their equipment levels, but they are much different in skill levels. That's why Jay Jefferson, Riley Spurlitube, some others were at the top of the charts last week. And you see veterans of the sport. Behind, though, one of the rookies, Vince Freeze, but the veterans right behind them in Friesen, Kukulon, Curtis, Foster, Jefferson, even the 82 of Jacob Edson, who's coming back for a full-time schedule in the 82, if I can find him on track. I think I passed him already. Yeah, the bright green 82 with the GoDaddy funding back up here. But you also got drivers that are up inside this top 10. Vince Freeze, as we said. You also got Alex Fletcher, who was driving for Texas Star Racing last season in the MDCS. Almost came, as Mac Johnson puts it, in the wall. But the 72 team, Smart Motorsports, looking to go big this season as they go full-time with multiple drivers in the Cup Series.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how Smart Motorsports is going to fare out this year. They're in the second year of they're the satellite to Pedal to Metal Racing, which nearly won the championship in the Truck Series last year. But over the past 2 years, Smart Motorsports has announced their intentions of running the full-time schedule and then not showing up for some or most of the races, or at least at the top level. So it'll be very interesting to see if third time is indeed the charm for Cody Smart's outfit, as he does get Alex Fletcher back. Oh, he gets Alex Fletcher, who did win last year in the MDCS and was an early championship favorite, but an equipment stop really put him as the one on the outside looking in, as it would be Larry Hagan getting the focus at TSR. Of course, the championship battle going to Colton Lane.
That is true with that Smart Motorsports team. Last season in the Truck Series, they announced going full-time with Matthew Brown in a partnership with Butcher Gatorade Motorsports. That fell through early, and the team scrambled for multiple drivers, trying to fill in spots, trying to make races. They didn't enter at Charlotte, so that basically threw away most of their full-time plans, but they still came out very strong finish to the season for that 72 team. As we look back up through the field, one of the CFRO guys, Matthew Eves, a super speedway ace, as they like to call him, right behind one of his part team owners, Tib Foster. Eves in this 47. He put on a bit of a good performance last week at last time out at Pocono. He's 18th quickest right now. Teammate Dusty Neal 19th quickest. But Eves could be a threat this season, especially in that opening weekend, the Sundrop 500, when all these cars are much more equal than they'll be near the end.
Yeah, I think Cloud Foster Racing Rations is definitely banking on that. They're trying to, if you notice with their driver schedule, they're trying to play off their strengths a little bit more. That's why they ended up letting Logan Bradley go. They wanted to try to focus on where they were best, and they were doing a rotating schedule for the 94 car in trucks. Now in Cup here we have Dusty Neal in the 94, and Neal's been a guy who's been close but no cigar over the last few seasons, where he's come up just short of a win on a few occasions or other success. He did have the best finish for the team in the Crown Royal Truck Series last year, having a higher points finish in Bradley, and the team's best result of, I believe, an 11th at Chicagoland, the first Chicagoland race. Cloud Foster Racing Operations was definitely struggling with funding, at least up and down a little bit over the last 2 years. So it'll be very interesting to see if they can keep the budget balanced this season, and if they can make another step towards being a top team.
Speaking of budget balancing over the last few seasons, the hometown boys here at Chicagoland, the reason many fans came to the track, you got Anjato out here, Peter Anjak, Carson Bowers, Tib Foster, the core three for their truck program last season, as they brought on rookie Anderson Reed as well. Peter Anjak, he's ran so well at Chicagoland, but has come up just short, blowing an engine with, I believe, about 3 or 4 laps to go back in season number 2 of the Crown Royal Truck Series. But Anjato looking very strong, coming off of that Crown Royal Truck Series championship with Carson Bowers. Peter Anjak right now 10th quickest on the grid. Carson Bowers 12th, and Tib Foster is up in 5th. Those guys, though, they are looking to put some big speed down, but don't forget, both TSR and Anjato were in the negatives just 2 years ago, about mid-season. They fought back. Now they are both championship contending teams in an alliance together. It should be good to see Dodge bring it up, especially with all the teams that they have. Anjato, GDI, CFRO, and TSR should be a good core 4 for Dodge to grow in the SDCS.
Oh, no problem. No question, I should say. Dodge is definitely looking to step up their game, as we see some drivers here on pit road. But yeah, KGM Kamikaze Motorsports, they're a satellite team to that Anjato organization. Of course, Evernham is in that pipeline as well. So there's quite a few Dodge teams. They look strong. I would almost say they're the best group out of all the manufacturers. General Motors and their Chevy program here is getting a little. They were pretty much on their last legs after Mid-South Automotive had switched to Rams in trucks. They really only had 2 drivers really run the full season last year, those being Logan Cloud and Joseph Srigley. But they got a little bit of shot in the arm with Diego Yepes Incorporated coming on over. Let's see what other teams. They got Ford, pretty much being led by Zachary Racing now, with the departure of Diego Yepes from the Ford camp. And the other big team that really left, I think Rockstar Energy Racing is still Ford, but I know Butcher Gatorade Motorsports has switched over to Toyota. So they got some Japanese power under that hood as they enter a partnership with Shade Burkhart Racing. So it'll be very interesting to see which manufacturer will be the top dog come this season.
Toyota camp, of course, mainly led by Shade Burkhart Racing. They were able to convince BGM over from Ford to Toyota, brought them in as, I believe, a satellite team. But interesting to see after Morris, remember at Pocono, Brandon Morris and Anderson Reed got together, I think, once or twice on track, ended up spinning and totaling a 55 car, and then he did it once again. So they did not bring Brandon to this Chicagoland test. Shepard offered for Morris to take the ride, but Morris said he would rather try to focus on Memphis, and he got a 4th in the testing there. Diego Yepes, though, at Butcher Gatorade Motorsports is a big move for Toyota. They are making that move, and it could be big that they got this big of a star driver. Monster Energy, of course, backing Diego through anything, especially his entire team, basically. But those guys looking to be good. You got other guys battling right here. Still looking at the back now. It's Gatlin Downey for GDI, and surprising to see Logan Cloud, 27th fastest only for Pedal to Metal Racing in this Allegiant number 91, as well Eli Bright, Alex Benyako, and Ryan Butcher near the bottom of the pack as well. So some big hitters at the bottom of the pack here in testing early.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on with that 91. I wonder if there's some... It could either be like maybe some issues behind the scenes at Pedal to Metal Racing, or what's probably the case is, since I think Cloud did pretty good at Pocono, is they just don't have didn't hit on a setup today. It's very possible that they just did not get the it's not running the way they wanted to. Somebody's got to be towards the bottom, and if with how close all these cars are in performance level, a setup could easily do that. Now, that doesn't mean that there's some other things going on, but I think that's a really good explanation. Or it could be he's just stuck behind somebody. Like, so you can see he's trying to get around the 57, it appears, but it's taking him a couple laps, and since he just came off of pit road a couple laps ago, that could just have eaten away any hopes here. Now, unless he gets a great run here, that could shoot him up the charts. But as it stands, we've had a pretty solid. I think he's still a little slow. So, considering he won here last year, I'm not sure what's going on. Maybe he's just, I don't know.
There's, of course, a lot of new factors here. Maybe a lot of these guys out here for some of the first times in their cars, first or second times in the cars, as they had really no off-season private testing. They had some of the drivers go down, testing at Michigan to show the manufacturers how they would run. And, of course, something that happened in that Michigan test, Mercedes had a Cup car, and they had it practicing, but their driver for the test ended up crashing the car out. That was their only car that they made, and Mercedes has since pulled support from the trucks, not looking like they'll be pulling up into Cup anytime soon. So with no teams there, of course, Mercedes out of the series. A lot more drivers, though. A couple of other surprises. Of course, Vince Freeze at the top of the charts, but Sebastian Kukulon has moved himself, or is solidly in 3rd. Logan Cloud has just hit a 7th fastest lap time, so I think he might have been just stuck in traffic that whole time around. That 91 team starting to pick up the pace, if I can find him. There he is. Yeah, he's all alone, pulling away from Zachary DeLello. Jay Jefferson, only 6th fastest. That's good for the rest of the field, hoping that this series will be able to stop Jay, as the trucks seem that like they won't. Also in 8th position is the 05. That's Austin Johnson. And Jacob Edson up in 9th. A great run for Edson. But in 10th, Alex Fletcher. As does the 95 have an issue? No, it does not. So the 95 coming on down pit road, just bringing that in after his lap. But there's 10th quickest, Alex Fletcher. It's a great run here for him today, as we still have 11 minutes of testing left. Only 28 drivers on a big 1.5 mile oval compared to the packed field of 33 that was at Memphis. We got a lot of time left for someone to jump on up. There's SBR's Brady Burkhart, not Alex Benyako, Ryan Butcher, Dusty Neal there, Austin Johnson. This pack of drivers got Mac Johnson. He's a Molson modified driver, now making his first off-season test in a Cup car. We saw Alex Parker crash out multiple times, as you see. Who was that? Zachary DeLello bounces off of the wall in contact there. But what do you think about these Molson Modified guys getting these upper series tests, getting ready for this season?
Oh, it's a very interesting idea, I can say. Some of these teams, they're smaller teams trying to take advantage of, the low entry list. They're just trying to survive, and they think that's probably one of their best ways if it's boom or bust, and they're willing to go big or go home. So you can see here with Mac Johnson. Got guys like, yeah, Alex Parker has had a rough one. I know Aiden Smith, who he finished like, I want to say 11th in Molson Modified, and he's moving up to trucks, which has been a move that's resulted in a lot of criticism. But it is Diego Yepes. If he can find a way to, anyone could find a way to turn a guy like that into a winner, it would be Yepes. So it's really interesting to see all these programs now. Some of these programs, they might just strike out, and that I kind of brings me back to a point you made earlier about Mercedes. Is it really the only two teams that were really interested in coming over to Mercedes were A-Straw Racing and I believe it was Outside Line Sim Racing. Both teams that did not survive the whole season last year. So if another manufacturer wants to, if they're gonna want to decide they're gonna jump into some NSDCA action, the realistically the only way for them to stick is they got to attract a bigger, more stable team. Say a Cfro or a Zachary Racing, something like that. As you can see, we've gotten other drivers up. Oh, yeah, I see we got other drivers. The last time we were at this track, it was Logan Cloud winning, and now Logan Cloud has topped the charts and has finally unseated Vince Freeze from the top spot here at Chicagoland.
That's going to be a heartbreak for the underdog fans there. Freeze in the Monster Motorsports equipment was on top for most of this, but now Logan Cloud might be getting some of that draft from Jefferson and Kukalon, two other drivers inside this top 10 in the speed as well, Alex Fletcher and Jacob Edson. So this whole pack right here, all inside the top 10 on speed. Cloud might have got some of that draft, puts himself to the top of the charts. A great run there as they're starting to catch up to Zach Rogers in the 06. But these guys, this Pedal to Metal Racing team, we thought they could have been having a struggle to begin this test, and they probably were from all the traffic, but now hitting the stride, must have thrown the CRTS setup on it, seeing if it sticks, and it does. But Jay Jefferson also won here last season. He has a bad fast car too, 7th quickest so far, as Edson and Fletcher, two guys in 9th and 10th fastest, battle up in front of him. Jefferson and Cloud, two of the drivers that were feared last season with Austin Murray for that title hope, but it was Carson Bowers who snuck through. Jefferson hoping to bring some more luck this season, his truck program kicking off, and now Cloud and Jefferson near the top of the charts, but it's Logan Cloud up front for Pedal to Metal Racing, and that puts Monster Motorsports 2nd, 3rd, 5th, and 8th. A great run right now for that Chevy team.
Oh, that is huge for Monster Motorsports. They're showing that they should be feared, which they probably are. Looking at the rest of the top 10, you see Jacob Edson in 9th. He kind of took a little bit of a sabbatical, and the fact that yes, these cars are pretty equal, but the fact that he was able to, after a somewhat iffy last full-time season, and then pretty much a whole season off, and he's come back out and he's actually doing really well. I think he's proving a lot of his detractors wrong with his performance right now. Who else is in the tie? I see Tim Foster 6th on an oval. That's incredible.
Of
Is
course,
that the 05 and 8th? Yes, those are the 05 of Austin Johnson. It's been an interesting one. He's on pit road, I see. Alex Fletcher, he's in 10th. He's been running good this weekend. I wonder if he was helping try to hold people up for Cloud, because they're technically, because yeah, he drives for Smart Motorsports, which is a satellite team to Pedal to Metal. So I wonder if he was helping hold these guys up a little bit. to try to get toe. I don't know, but they're getting really racy, I see here. Now, Fletcher, not sure if he bounced off the wall there or just had an interesting arc throughout the corner as there he goes underneath. I believe that is a C-Throw car. Is that Neil or Shade? I'm not sure. You see clouds on kind of a burner of a lap here. Yeah, and there's Jefferson. Those two were definitely battling a lot over the season, especially in the chase. They had that battle at Kansas, and of course the race at Michigan. That was absolutely incredible, and Jay Jefferson ended up pulling that out over Cloud, which that ended up costing Cloud the championship, you could say, by him not being able to get around Jefferson and not being able to be the faster driver. Or there's a lot of spots where you could say Cloud, he didn't perform. Oh, as Jay bounces off the wall. There's a lot of spots where JJ didn't quite perform, and that allowed Carson Bowers to get that title, but you gotta wonder if they're gonna ramp that intensity up a notch to see if they can become the first Sundrop Cup Series champion this year. Oh, we got a wreck!
Austin
We got
Johnson.
a wreck. I believe that's Austin Johnson in the wall.
Johnson up the track, came up off of pit road and just pulls in front of Jacob Edson, and that's going to be a big hit. The 05 car destroyed, totaled there, as now Mac Johnson and Kukulon trying to slide on by. Edson with damage pulling it down pit road, but everyone else was able to get by cleanly. Heavy contact for the 05 of Austin Johnson, 8th quickest, and that car is going into the junkyard. Heavy damage for Austin Johnson. As we come to the end of this test, we'll go ahead take a quick replay of that, but really, what was Johnson thinking just merging up in front of the pack like this as they ran around? Edson looking to the inside of Jefferson. He just comes right up in front of him. Zach Rogers might have got a piece of it, but heavy damage to that 05 car, the first totaled car of this test, but heavy damage to Austin Johnson as we're getting close to the end of the testing session.
Oh, that's unfortunate for Austin Johnson. He was, what, like 8th in testing? Yeah, he's 8th on the leaderboards, and now the car that he took to 8th is going to be being taken on the back of the it's going to be taken probably to see if we can salvage it for parts or see how badly damaged it is. That was just terrible luck for Edson, really. I thought when I saw that coming, I thought it was gonna be Jay Jefferson that was gonna get walloped there, but Jay just managed to sneak on by, and I think Zach Rogers did as well. That's gonna break up this pack here. Now we just got Jefferson and Cloud running by themselves, which is a sight we saw often in the Crown Royal Truck Series last year. I believe they both tied for most wins in the series last year. They both got 4, which I believe is the record for a single series, single season, but Cloud did have those 2 wins in the Mountain Dew Custom Series last year, so I think he had like 6 total points wins, but he might have won the most battles, but he lost both wars, losing it to Carson Bowers in the trucks and losing it to Colt in lane in Mountain Dew Custom Series. Looking through the rest of the field, I haven't talked about Matty Porta much today. And where is he in the speeds? Porta's been, he's down in 19th, I think. He has been the biggest bridesmaid in the NSDCA so many times, especially on road courses. He's come so close to victory, and just something happens. Either he gets passed right in the closing laps, or he just doesn't quite have the speed, or just pit road miscues or something. It just seems every time, it seems like this driver, the number 20, just cannot have everything go right for once. as you see him getting around Zach Rogers here. So we gotta wonder if this is the year that Porta finally gets his first win since, I believe, Dover? Was it Dover in the Mountain Dew Custom Series? It might have been Dover.
Yeah, Porta has not won in over 3, coming on to 4 years, I believe, since his last win. He has won in the JROC before, but as we are coming to the end, just 20 seconds left in this test as everyone's going to get their last laps in. It looks like the top 10 will be Logan Cloud, Vince Freeze, Carter Freeze, and Sebastian Kukulon, DJ Curtis, then Tib Foster, Jay Jefferson, Austin Johnson in a torn-up race car, Jacob Edson and Alex Fletcher, your top 10. Then just missing that top 10 bracket would be Goforth, Bowers, Onjack, Mac Johnson, Stephen Wallace Jr., Diego Yepes, Zach Rogers, Brady Burkhart, Matty Porta, Matthew Eves, and the final 8 are the 94 of Dusty Neal, then Nicky Morris, Ryan Butcher, Zachary DeLello, Larry Hagan, Alex Benyako, Eli Bright, and Gatlin Downey. This test coming to a close. I want to thank Logan for joining me in the booth for this weekend here for the testing session, and both tests today went pretty smoothly, except for a couple incidents with some more inexperienced drivers in the NSDCA and Austin Johnson. Thank you guys so much for tuning in to the Chicagoland race here at the here in the SDCS, and we thank Logan once again for joining us in the booth. Thank you guys for watching, and we will see you guys next time on the NSDCA.